Imagination is the ability to see things that's not yet been created. It's important to imagine and to dream. A lot of times you see little kids and they have big dreams. They think so much about who they want to be, who they want to become, and they just imagine. They think about, hey, a little girl might look and say that she feel like she could be a princess. A boy, he might look and says, I feel like I could be the president of the United States of America. They might want to be a doctor or a lawyer. These can be kids that can come from poverty. They can come from nothing. No one in their family has ever achieved pretty much anything. But at the end of the day, they still have the ability to imagine and just dream. And a lot of times when you get older, you become an adult, you stop dreaming. You stop imagining, you stop thinking. It's so important at the end of the day to keep dreaming, to keep imagining, to keep thinking, because if not, you'll get to a point where you start thinking and being realistic. And it's a problem when you start being realistic because you stop dreaming, you stop taking chances on life. So what happens is you get to a point where you just start settling. You look at things from a perspective of, hey, I'm just gonna settle, I'm just gonna accept whatever the world gives me. Instead of looking at it from a position of, hey, I'm gonna take what I want from this world. Because we stop dreaming, we stop imagining. Because the circumstance that we come from, that did not have to be our outcome. And I just feel like so many times, because of maybe family members, or it could even be teachers, people, they'll knock us and tell us what we can't do. They'll tell us who we can't be, and we believe it. And when we believe it, we start dreaming. So then we get realistic, and then we settle for the job that's gonna pay us just enough to get by. And we shouldn't do that. We should keep dreaming. Now, by going by dreams, dreams also take some form of a sacrifice. You might have to take a short-term loss in order to get a long-term gain. So it's important to understand, not only with dreaming, but you gotta have patience. I love being and living in the city of Shreveport, Louisiana, because every single day I walk and I approach and I deal and I talk to so many people. And there's a lot of people that I talk to that encourages me. They encourage me to keep going, to keep dreaming, to keep moving big, to keep going after great things. And at the end of the day, I'm so glad that I still dream, I still imagine. I still going after what I want to go after. At the end of the day, I think of just life in general, the things that can be accomplished. And when it comes to the things that can be accomplished, anything can really be accomplished. At the end of the day, the things that I put my focus in and I really attack and go after. But nothing can happen without the imagination, without dreaming, without having a vision. Once I get the vision, now of course I can have the discipline to go along with it. But if I don't imagine, if I don't dream, I don't think big, I can't accomplish anything. That imagination is so important. A lot of times we look at kids and sometimes, we'll laugh like, oh man, that little kid sitting there thinking that they can be the president. But, we look at what Barack Obama did, and when you look at that, he had a dream. Same way, we can go to Martin Luther King. He had a dream of what he thought that the world could be years from now. Years when he died, and then even years afterwards. So the imagination, everything comes from the imagination. Every single thing comes from the imagination. And the imagination, the belief comes also with the imagination. Because it's hard to dream and go after your goals without that belief. So me personally, I just feel like the imagination starts everything that happens. A lot of people that come from the city of Shreveport, Louisiana, they don't believe in the city. They don't believe that things can get better. I do. I put my hard work in every single day. I grind. I see these buildings that's empty, and I sit there and say, I could buy that building. And I'm working on that. Every single day we see these buildings that's empty, and we're not even trying to go buy these buildings. Why not? I mean, at the end of the day, we have the ability to do it. If we see it, we might can look at a building and see that building that can become a club. We might can see that building that we can turn into a bank. We might see a building that we can turn into a grocery store. I mean, it's so many different things that we can go after and we can achieve, but we gotta imagine. We have to imagine it first. And if we don't see it, it can never happen. Thank you. My name is Sidney Combs.